some of our group would just get into this one, please. Before we go around, would you have a look at the top there? What can you see? No, we're not going to go that much hiking. But I mean, can you see the shape of what? It's like a pyramid. Like a pyramid. So the main reason why they've chosen this spot on these mountains to start digging and having the tombs here was the structure of the pyramid. So this means they still had in mind the idea of the pyramid, no matter they're not building a pyramid, but they made everything under the natural formation of the pyramid.
يصابوا المشي والله العظيم عجبوا جماعة الحاجبين مو
Before you came in, did you Amazing. Those recesses.
This tomb that you walked in is considered an easy one because you didn't really crawl per se, you didn't have steps per se, so this was like an easy one. And again, the story on the wall was chapters from the Book of the Dead. Simply the journey of the afterlife is what they consider it will take them 24 hours. So it's a trip for 24 hours, for a day. 12 hours in a day and 12 hours at night. So we have symbols of the 24 hours, like each hour has a gate, as if the person is moving on from one gate to another. And at the end of the gate, you'll be in an open space in front of the god with the name Osiris. Osiris is the one that we talked about yesterday when we went to Dendera Temple, the room that has his resurrection story, the story of how he had an evil brother and how he did not want to live among the evil ideas, but he preferred to be the god of the afterlife. So he's always decorating the tombs in here. How do you can recognize Osiris? Always like in a mummy form, in a white color, with his arms over the chest. So this is the Osiris position. And in different scenes, he will be repeated whenever you go in one tomb to another. Because there's a final judgment where this god is in charge to do. So the person will stand in front of him for a negative confession. I was good, I was bad, I didn't hurt the people, I did whatever achievements. So they decorate the tomb with all the ideas of even the judgment. And this is the god that will have this sort of like a scale, and he puts on one side the heart and on the other side the feather, so to judge the person and to figure out if he can go to paradise, which they mean by paradise the field of the god Osiris. And this is from where they got the saying that we're using today. Someone is a light heart person. The light heart means he was good, he had a good, easy, nice life, and Osiris judged him to be the good person. So this is an idea. The Egyptians, they keep these sort of sayings and traditions. It's part of our culture, that we are still a little bit believers. Yes, we don't decorate our tombs today. The Muslims or the Christians, we don't decorate it, but we have a little bit of an ideas of what the ancient Egyptians had, like the mummy position, the first of like how to wrap the body in a mummy form. This is what the Muslims do. We don't have any kind of clothes or any outfits, but when we have a burial, we just wash the body simply, wrap it in linen, and we don't use the box except for the funeral procession, because when we come to the burial, we take the body out of the box. So we're keeping a little bit of ancient traditions, but with no decoration as what you saw in here. So we will go together now from one tomb to another. So our next will be the tomb of King Tuut.
The colors in that tomb, were they restored or enhanced?
These are the original colors.
Those are the originals, okay.
And of course, some sections, like the one of Seti that you will see later,
Yeah.
the colors have been restored.
Oh, okay.
But when they restore any color, they don't add colors. They just try to get and to maintain the original one.
Okay.
They're not allowed under any condition to add any source of
Different
color.
colors, yeah. Were the colors derived from like vegetarian type?
Yes, so
Yeah.
lots of the colors are from natural sources,
Yeah.
whether plants or stones.
Yeah.
And of course, because Egypt has a very dry climate,
Yeah.
and how these things have been sealed and buried all the way under the ground, the colors are in a very good condition.
Oh, I see, yeah. Yeah, it's impressive. Very impressive. Now, this Rameses IV, when was that discovered? Like that was
This was like 1810,
18, oh wow.
early 19th century.
One of the first ones.
One of the very first ones. This
Yeah.
is like KV2.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see. The numbers represent
The
the
number
number.
represent the timing on the
Ah,
sequence.
okay.
So KV1, this is the very early, and then it's the sequence of the discovery. So it's not related to history or chronologically, but it depends on when it was discovered. So they have a date and they have the KV number.
King Tuut that we're going to, what number is that?
62.
62,
So
okay.
it was like 100 something years after the
Oh.
Rameses II.
Okay.
On your right side, down there, is the tomb of Rameses II. Rameses the Great, the one that we always say we've never been there. Even when I was studying, they never took us on a field trip to see how it's like. Strange enough that his architect wasn't really brave to choose a better spot or not to go very deep. When the tomb was excavated, it was in such a bad damage. Facing it, if you look on the left side, there is another Rameses tomb, Rameses IX. It's not as deep as the one of Rameses II. It's in a good condition. When we finish with our inclusions, we may go into the Rameses IX, which is a very nice one as well. Never been opened. This Rameses, the Great, the very famous, his tomb has never been opened. Oh, this is a good chance. You don't have a line outside or down there, but you can have a picture. So watch your steps and keep coming down here. It's an easy tomb to walk in. And as you get down the stairs, we have some pictures on the right, black and white, tells you about the discovery. And if anybody's interested later to buy any of these pictures, we'll have them available for sale just outside by this shaded area spot next to the exit. The tomb from inside, a very small tomb, has 4 rooms, the burial chamber, the antechamber, and then 2 other side rooms. One called the treasury, and this is where they found the jackal Anubis statue. Remember the one that we saw at the museum with the box that had the organs. These are some pictures that shows the carvings on the wall. The one here with the white color will be Osiris. And then the king will be next to him. You can always figure out the king because he got the cartouche next to his head. And this is a picture that shows the crowds when they finally announced the discovery. And they just had to address Lord Carnarvon to come quickly. We found something. And this was the big job that was made. Then look at these pictures in the middle. It shows Howard Carter when he was sitting and he was getting the coffins one out of the other. So this is the 3 coffins that we saw together at the GEM, the Grand Egyptian Museum. This is the big shrine. You remember the one that had the blue when we walked there? And then another room down here, it shows the antechamber, which is like a mess. Because this is the room that has the whole collection, looks like it's been thrown in. And look like the chariots, the beds, the chairs, and the statues that were at the museum, they were facing one another, flanking the entrance of the burial chamber. What happened and what about the discovery? I said in the bus earlier that Howard Carter was working before in this site, excavating a number of different tombs. And the place is so rich with a number of them. But he was desperate when the Egyptian government decided not to complete it. And this is when he started leaning on asking Lord Carnarvon to pay him and help him with the money. It took them 10 years working and working, and this was the last season when Carnarvon sent a message saying, I'm not going to pay a penny. That's it. I just did a lot of payment and nothing has been announced so far. And lucky Howard Carter that finally they were able to get to the tomb. The story of the donkey. Remember the donkey that I talked about when we were at the museum, the little boy? And this boy was, his grandchildren were invited to the celebration that was in Luxor a few years ago. Another family members were invited in the same celebration, and this was the family of the Minister of Antiquities at the time. Because he was the one who stopped clearly, facing Carter and Carnarvon, stopping them from taking everything out of the country. Because all of a sudden, they were surprised, they were amazed with all the collection. They didn't believe that this is all going to be the great thing, and they started taking things out. But he said, no, there was a deal. You can take few pieces, few repeated, but not the masterpieces. This belongs to the country. So this was a good decision, and thanks God he made it, because now we're so proud that we do have the collection of King Tuut in here. So what you've been through, you walk down there, steps, and then a passage, a corridor, into the big room. So the big room I'm pointing on now is called the antechamber. This is the room that had one day, when the discovery happened, all the chariots, the beds, the boxes. So this was all in this big room. And from this room, there's another one called the burial chamber. And this burial chamber was having a door, like a wall, flanked by the two statues that we saw at the museum, as if the king was there. So they put statues in the tombs, as if the king is there protecting his mummy. Because in this room, which is the burial chamber, they found what? The big shrine, then the three others, so there were four if you remember, and then the sarcophagus which you saw down in the tomb, it was inside the smallest shrine. And what else was inside the sarcophagus? The three coffins, the golden, then another one, and the third, which is the solid gold with the mummy and the mask. So all these layers of things were together in a one room. And this is the room that as you walk down, you've seen the carvings on the walls with some decoration. And these are the decoration type. One wall has the baboons. This was right there. And this is symbolizing the god Ra, the sun god. Another has like a jackal with the king. A third part had like the Osiris with the king as well. So this is simply the decoration that was in the tomb, which is again part from the Book of the Dead. Beside the two rooms I'm talking about, there was a one room here and another one there. This is like an annex, like a side room, and you didn't walk into these because they're so small, but this is the room that they found jars and boxes to keep liquids and oils and offerings. But this one, which they name it the treasury room, it's the room that they found the box with the organs, with the jackal Anubis. So they had to take this box with organs from this side room. There was a little entry from the burial chamber to this room. So they still had to move up things and to bring them up. When you remember the collection that we saw at the museum and you just figure out how they were fitting in this, it's just amazing. And this was very small tomb, and it was packed from down to up inside one another, so it was completely with a lot of pieces that we saw. So imagine if it was the others, they were not brought. So from here we're going to go to another tomb, which I have the ticket for it, and this is Seti I. Yes, question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where were the daughters at this point? The jars for the daughters?
Well, this was in the side room as well, with the
In the
treasury
side.
room.
Okay. In
And
there.
of course, we just have to shed light on the history of King Tut. First, he ruled from a city north of Luxor with when his father was there. But then the priest asked him to come to Luxor, so he started ruling from here and building his tomb here. They're still up to today. If you watch National Geographic and you watch programs about Egypt, they very much focus into they're still expecting a tomb to be excavated here. And very soon they might announce it. If you watch the famous archaeologist, Dr. Zahi Hawass, he's a very famous Egyptian that loves the media. He talks a lot about his great discoveries, and he's always talking that I'll announce the excavation of Nefertiti's tomb. They're expecting the tomb of Nefertiti to be nearby here. And why was that? Because probably she was ruling from behind the king. He was ruling when he was 9 till 18 or 19. So she wanted to be the queen of Egypt, but she wasn't able to make it. So she had him as an image, but she was ruling from behind. So they are expecting that could be one day her tomb would be here. They didn't announce yet. They're still looking for it, but they said maybe within a hidden wall from the tomb of King Tut, there will be the tomb of Nefertiti. It's confusing when I talk about Nefertari and Nefertiti, because these are two different queens. Nefertiti, the wife of Akhenaten, but Nefertari, the wife of Rameses II. And Nefertari, her tomb was found. And we used to visit it with Viking and some other groups, but it's closed now for restoration. It's in the Valley of the Queens. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And this is very much like the one of Seti that we're going to visit now. It's amazing with the colors and how preserved the colors are. So now we're going to the tomb of Seti, and when we finish with the tomb of Seti, we'll still have the time to be wandering around the site. They still have the chance to visit 2 other tombs after Seti. And I would suggest different tombs that we have them. It doesn't look so busy today, so it looks fine with the crowds. There is a one tomb on the right. This is Rameses IX, where you may see it later after Seti. If you like to do some hiking or so, there's a one up here on the left, where you go up first few steps and then you go down. It's another feeling and experience. Merin Petah from the family of Rameses, and there's a number of others a little bit in the front as well. And then now we're going to Seti the First, which is marked here. Seti the First was under the KV 17, so it was still open and excavated in the 19th century, 18 something, and this was a work of an Italian, Belzoni. So now we're talking about Italians, not just French, that they were excavating. Let's go together. And before you walk in, you can have an idea. From up here, how does it look like? So what I said last night, it's a challenge. It's worth it to make it. And at any point when you're walking in, if you feel you don't want to go all the way down to the end, you can easily turn and come out again. But the colors in this tomb is amazing. I'm talking about 135 steps that takes you deeper, of a 400 feet that goes deep and deep down. But the tomb, it's been excavated by the 19th century. It says 1817 with the Belzoni. And when you start walking down this way, it takes you into corridors and then rooms and rooms. The rooms are protected by columns, supported by columns, whether the walls, the columns, the ceiling. It's all rich with all the stories from these different book names. Book of the Gates, Book of Nut, Book of the Dead, Book of the Night, Book of the Day, and so on. Names of different gods and goddesses. Talking about the
That's the bull.
Oh, that is a nice boat. Wow. Thinking each other.
Pretty impressive, eh?
Yeah, I didn't say this part.
Yeah.
I need a little break.
This is CO2.
That was the week that we had. That's the week that we were supposed to be on.
Started having the tours back again. They figured out that okay, it's not, we're not leaving. Let's be away for some time.
Yeah, let's see what that
What's going on?
like.
Let's see what's going on.
I mean, I'm glad that it.
And then one day you've made it, so you're here.
There we are. My
With your,
friends
with
coming.
your friends this time.
Yeah, my
We was
friends
supposed
coming
to come
next.
with them.
Ah, so you were both
Right.
two
Yeah.
couples. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, you were both coming.
Yeah.
Well, I can track. You want some?
Okay, you've made it. Here we are. How was that? Good?
Amazing.
Nice colors.
The color, it's unbelievable. The color.
Very special. The
It's
walls,
like-
the ceiling.
It's like they did it yesterday.
It looks like it.
It's like they did.
It's not the reality.
Yeah.
It's just been from ages before
I
Christ.
know, but it just looks like
Looks
it was
like that.
recent.
That's
Yeah.
How
got
was,
your workout
how was
today,
your
huh?
feeling in here?
I'm proud of myself.
Hey, hey.
Ah, you're young. How was that?
That was awesome.
Yeah, you're young and
Oh, and she's still sweating. She came up without her jacket. Okay, Iris, how was that? Oh, good. That's a great one. That's the hard one. That's the one I said it's a challenge.
What a challenge to work
It is
in.
a big special one. And you still have the chance to go to 2 more.
Okay.
So if you just catch your breath.
I'm done with
After that.
I'm going to the gift shop again.
15:30.
So there is a cafeteria if anybody wants to. Rameses IX is all right. It's a nice, easy one, and it's nice colors as well.
Okay.
So if you want to go for no steps. Like similar to Rameses IV, when you walk and easy getting it.
Do we need a card to get in there?
This is the same ticket that says the value of the king.
Oh, okay.
This ticket, you can use it twice. So. That's it.
Here, Greg, right here. Thank you. Okay.
Hey, where from? From where?
Toronto. Kitchener. Can't go in there? No. No, it's okay.
Extended and others did not. See, like,
Nee, aber bei den anderen Ramses war heftig. Ja.
All done. Yeah, it's not much. Just walk in, walk out.
Well, all the sarcophagus are gone.
Oh yeah, not much in there. Just the wall paintings,
Yeah.
but which are really nice and colorful. Yeah, it was good. Now we go through the tunnel of vendors to get out.
Well, I guess we have to be down there about
quarter to 11. Yeah, we got lots of time. Got 3/4 of an hour almost. But then we go to I think the Carter House on the way back. That should be interesting. Turn it into a museum. Thanks. No, I'm not interested. Yeah.
2 for 5.
$1.
2 for 5.
No.
$6 million.
Thanks.
It's all Scarabees. Shirt, $1.
Where do we go right here, Greg? I'll ride shotgun to you. No, no, not interested, thank you.
Maybe come back?
Nope.
Okay, we're friends.
Scarab alabaster stone handmade. This may work same. $1.
Well, let's go see the Carter House. It shouldn't take long, she said 10, 15 minutes. Okay. Thank you. That's kind of the hat that we saw in our room there. He was sitting on the bench. Oh, that's neat. Oh. Oops, sorry.
So I guess he was British, so he was and then stayed on his
King Tuut's tomb.
Yeah, sure. 4 or 5 years.
Hey, did you see the picture that's in our room? It's over here. See, that's how I knew Greg right here. This picture here. The idea of Howard Carter's house. I guess, right?
Alabaster stone
Okay.
handmade.
Well, thanks.
This is my work. Alabaster stone handmade. My work here.
Oh, yeah.
This name Tutankhamun.
Yeah.
Name Tutankhamun.
Because she was a king, but there was another tomb that was found for her at the Valley of the Kings, considering herself a very powerful figure, a king. She's the one that always insisted on having the beard when she was representing herself. And then we found a third tomb for her next to her temple, and this was next to an area where they have tombs for nobles and high officials, where they tell us a story that she was in love with her architect. And there is a tomb next to the architect's tomb that also has the name of Hatshepsut. So she ended up to have 3 tombs, but none of the tombs her mummy was found in. You know why? Because the mummies that we have them in Egypt, and we have them around the world, because many mummies are in different museums in different countries. When you travel here and there, you can see mummies. These mummies, when they were excavated in Egypt, mainly in Luxor, they were not found in the different tombs. It happened in ancient times. There was a king. He figured out how the tombs have been robbed. So he took all the mummies with the coffins. So each mummy was in a coffin. So he took the mummies with the coffins and he kept them, and he thought of hiding them in a cache. So like Gachet, not far from the Valley of the Kings, where it was excavated with a number of mummies, and a big number of them now are displayed at the Civilization Museum in Cairo, that some of you will be visiting when we go there on the last day, including the mummy of Rameses II, Hatshepsut, and a number of other kings and queens as well. So there are over 20 mummies on display there in the Museum of Cairo, and they were for so long at the old museum, but they moved them in April 2021 from the Museum of Cairo to the new one, which is called the Civilization Museum. So the tombs that you walked in this morning, and you reached into the end of some of them to the burial chamber, but there was no mummy there. Maybe you saw the sarcophagus, the empty ones, but no mummy, because the coffins that fitted in the sarcophagus with the mummies, they've been taken out, moved on, and they were hiding somewhere in a place together. And now we're onto the temple. If you look straight ahead, you can see the temple I'm talking about. From a distance, it looks very new, because this temple has been heavily restored. A lot of restoration happened into this temple. And I'll tell you the story about the temple, about the design, about the architect, when he was very famous. His name was King Tuut, and about the queen of Egypt, Hatshepsut. And we'll spend some time at the temple. We'll do the same thing. We'll be walking together, passing the metal detector, and we'll be having a golf cart as well to take us close to the temple. Picture from here, up to you. There is restrooms by the cafeteria, and there's some items for shopping. And then when we finish with the whole thing, we do the same procedure. We go to any of the golf carts, back again to where the shopping, and then to the bus, and we're meeting at the bus at 12:45. The first one, which is badly damaged. The second one, where people walk in with a ramp, you go up, and then a third one that you see from here that has statues representing the queen. And as you see, the statues are representing her in the afterlife position, which is the Osiris position. Before we get into the temple story, her son, his name was Thutmose II. At that time, an idea of marriages between brothers and sisters were quite common. So Hatshepsut, the daughter of this king, Thutmose I, got married to her brother, Thutmose II. And they stayed together for some time, but this Thutmose II had different wives and different concubines, so he got a son from another queen. His name was Thutmose III. What happened when the husband died? Hatshepsut wanted to be the queen of Egypt, but it wasn't so easy because there was a little boy, even though he was only 7 years old, but they're expecting the boy to be the one to ascend the throne and to rule the country. So what am I going to do with this boy? So she tried hard to pamper the boy, pacify the boy, and ruling with him. So they ruled together for 7 years. So she was a queen and he was a king together. He was only 7 till he turned 14. When he turned 14, she was becoming a bit more aggressive. She relegated him to the background, telling him, you are from a lesser queen. You're not the legal one to be the king of Egypt, but I'm the queen of Egypt now. And she became the queen of Egypt for 14 years. This makes a number of 21 years that she was the ruler of the country. When she died, he became a king. And he was so famous and so strong, and he was so jealous of what happened to her. He started going into all her of the king or the queen, what they did, what kind of record, what kind of reference we're calling their history. So the first level, as you walk, you'll be passing just the 2 sphinxes, right and left side, and they're completely restored. Then you go up, you get to the second level, which has one chapel on the right and another one on the left. The one on the left missing the ceiling. You can see the damage on the corner to the left side. But you can still walk there and you get to see some columns with a Hatshepsut Temple, which is a goddess of yesterday, remember her temple. But I would suggest that you walk to the chapel on the right when you go to the second level, because the chapel on the right has some colors. And the colors are interesting because it reminds you of what we saw at the tombs. We have colors representing the god Amun-Ra, representing the god Anubis, some falcon. But the very interesting thing that you'll see when you walk there, that next to the figure of the god, you'll find another figure, but it's chiseled. Because this is what I talked about. Anything that tells her name, shows her figure, they're just chiseled and chiseled. See something blank, and next to it the knights. They're not going to chisel the god. So they kept the god as a clear presentation, but in front of the god, whenever that talks about her, it's been chiseled. You'll find some figures there that shows the cartouche, and they're not chiseled because this would be him when he was a boy, when he was still ruling with her when she restarted. And she represented him as an adult because they did not represent him as a kid. So he's like a king, but he's on one wall, but all the other scenes representing her, they're badly damaged.
Shall we head up there, gang?
Come around and any questions, and I'll be at the cafe for the coming time till we meet back again in the bus.
نبي اديهم ارقام تليفونات لما كنت زي ما كنت فاكر انا بعيد على الشغل اللي
Ay, sorry.
I did it already on the way in. Thank you.
Yeah, my knee's fine. I balance.
Greg, over here. Back over here, this way. Yeah, come out here and then come this way. Going through the vendors, back at the Valley of the Kings.
No, three American dollars, right? Three American dollars?
He's selling to you. I was behind one.
Oh no, I'm not interested.
That's $5.
No.
Is it all right?